Hello and welcome to the Athletic Center on the campus of St. Joseph College, and as always, brought to you by Stafford Technical Center News. They bring you all of these telecasts, and what a professional group here. We have 3 cameras shooting live. We have 4 or 5 monitors, tables, desks, and equipment all over the place, professionally done here on ST.
At Stafford Technical Center, you can explore your possibilities, have hands-on learning, pursue your passion, and start your career. Want to see what they're laughing at? Visit staffordonline.org, and while you're there, you might as well check out our application page.
And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN, Stafford Technical Center News. We're about 3 minutes away from the tip in the men's run after the 80-67-57 W by the women. Let's set the table for this one. VTC comes in with a record of 7-15 overall, 5-5 in conference play. They score about 77 a night and allow 55 per. They shoot 44% from the floor, 31% from behind the arc, and 64% from the free throw line. And they're led in scoring by junior guard Jamal Hughes. Hughes scores it at just under 20 points at 19-7. Shoots an outstanding 58% from the floor and 34% from deep. His high of 42 points came earlier in the season against Eastern Maine. Supporting Hughes in the scoring department is sophomore guard Nick Ryan out of Perth, Australia. How about that? Australia lad on the floor here tonight. He scores 13 per, 51% from the floor shooter. 34 points versus NHTI is Nick's high for the season. And number 41, Logan White, junior forward out of South Royalton, scores it at just under 10 per night at 9.5 for the visiting Knights. College of St. Joseph, they come in at 14 up, 10 down, 8-1 in conference play. They put 86.5 on the board nightly and allow 44. Shooting it well from behind the arc, 37% from long range and 72% off the free throw line for the Saints. And they're led in scoring by Dre Anderson, senior guard out of Fort Worth. Dre scoring at 17 points per, shooting 40% from long distance, and Dre gets a few of those attempts up. He attempts approximately 8 nightly. Dre's high of 30 points came against NHTI earlier in the season. Certainly he's joined in that scoring department by senior forward Kasheen Alston out of Brooklyn. Kasheen averaging 15.2 and 8 boards a night. Dropped 28 against Middlebury in December. And number 10, Stephen Edwards, a senior guard out of Queens, adds 13.5 to the offense. He shoots 43% from behind the arc, and he's averaged 21 in his last 4 outings. Edwards' high of 28 came against Pine Manor. So that sets the table a bit offensively for both squads. The Saints had a 7-game winning streak snapped on Sunday at Berkeley, where they dropped a 79-66 decision to Berkeley. They trailed by 4 at the half and couldn't draw any closer. Placed 4 players in doubles that night. Alston, Houston, Edwards, and Anderson all in double digits in that loss to Berkeley. These two clubs met earlier in the year on November 20th. A hard-fought 3-point victory for CSJ. So we'll see what tonight brings. Starting lineups. First for VTC, number 1, Jamal Hughes. Number 12, Joe Chevalier. Number 13, Zach Willett. Freshman guard out of Vergennes. Number 22, senior guard Ryan Follansby out of Sharon, Vermont. And we already talked about number 24, Mr. Nick Ryan, sophomore guard out of Australia. They're coached by, VTC is coached by Chris Lieser. Number 11, Travis Freewitz. Number 12, Kashin Alston. Number 20, Mr. Dre Anderson, senior guard out of Fort Worth. Senior forward out of Brooklyn, Nolan Emery. And rounding out the starting five for the Fighting Saints, number 24, Kyle Houston, junior guard out of Boston. So Houston, Emery, Anderson, Alston, and Freewitz for the starting five on the St. Joseph side of things. They're almost ready to get this one going. Get a couple dance moves out of the way on the floor. Head coach Bob Walsh comes out, gets in the fray. And the Saints break huddle. As we said, 3-point decision earlier in the year. You look at all the statistics and the records and who they've played, both squads, you wouldn't have expected that. So we'll see. A lot of times a change in venue changes things. Tonight, obviously the Saints are home. And see if that'll change the outcome and the score, the differential in the outcome, I should say, as Emery and Hughes ready to jump it up in center circle. And we are underway. BTC will inbounds on the side. Folumsby will pull the trigger. They go inside to Chevalier, and Chevalier with the up and under. Freewitz sets things up on top. VTC in the man-to-man. They swing to Anderson, Houston in the corner. Pitches it to Alston. Back to Emery. They go down inside to Anderson. Step back. Jumper. He knocks it down. Does the senior guard from Fort Worth. So dangerous is Dre. Can beat you from behind the arc. He can post you inside and also has a mid-range game as well. Ryan dribbles to the top. Finds Willett. Willett looks for a screen, gets it, and goes corner to Folumsby. Folumsby brings it back out on top. Gets a screen from Chevalier. And through the hands of Willett out of play. So just underway in this one. Tied at 2. As Freewitz brings it across the timeline, goes to Houston to Alston. Backside cut by Emery, puts it on the deck once, goes strong. Deflected out of play, Saints retain possession. Freewitz will trigger. And deflected away, and Ryan comes out of the pack with it and throws it into the scorer's bench. So the ball goes right back to CSJ. Houston brings it across the timeline. Junior guard out of Boston finds Emery. Emery, hesitation dribble, goes to Alston. Skips it backside to Freewitz. Gets into the painted area, finds Anderson. His first shot won't go. Rebounds his zones, and they'll reset on top. Crossover dribble. Freewitz gets to the paint. And now he'll screen for Emery. Alston, stop, pop. Front rims it. Willett pressured, picks his dribble up, gets help from Hughes, back to Willett. Willett goes down the painted area, drops it off to Chevalier. Good ball movement by the Knights. As Ryan gets into the painted area, whistle and a foul. And that's going against Emery on CSJ. His first, team's first. Ryan will shoot a pair. Knocks the first one down as Ryan. Averaging 13 per. And a fine shooter at 51% from the floor. Gets a pair of free throws right there. 4-2 VTC lead. Just underway here in Rutland, Vermont. Threewick swings it into Houston in the corner. He fiddles with it, gets it to Emery. Threewick's looking to enter to Alston. Pass off the mark. Chevalier swings it back on top, and we'll set things up. Hands off to Ryan. Ryan going to the rack, stops, goes glass, and gets. A little jump hook from about 8 feet out. Ryan gets it to go, and a 6-2 lead for the Knights as Houston goes to the rack. Denied. And the Knights come out with it, push it up the left sideline. Folumsby throws it to Houston on top, who skips it out in front to Alston, who's shoved into the wall by Chevalier. Wanted to give the foul up that time, Chevalier. Probably could have done it a little bit differently. Nonetheless, Alston goes to the line. He'll shoot a pair. Alston gets his first to go. Mr. Mark Lambert, one of our officials here tonight, kicks it back to Kayshawn for his second attempt. Bottoms 2 does Alston. Hughes on top, swings it over to Willett. Back to Ryan. Ryan, who's had the last 4 Knights points. Double team that time on top. They get it to Hughes, who's double teamed on the baseline. He skips it backside to Chevalier for the bucket. So good patience and quality passing out of the double team that time. Hughes finding Chevalier for the deuce. Emery dribble drive on the base. Bucket went, but he stepped out of bounds first, did Nolan. Turnover, and the ball goes back to the Knights with a 4-point advantage. They'll bring it across the timeline. Willett, guarded by Anderson, picks up his dribble, gets it to Chevalier, kicks it back to Willett, and Chevalier will pull from deep. Well strong on that release. Threewitz on the push. Emery for the 3 ball. Too strong. Nice rebound on the backside by Ryan. And Folumsby pushes out. Picks his dribble up, finds Hughes. Hughes, a little ball fake, drops it back to Ryan. 3 ball, got it. So the Knights looking comfortable here in the Saints gym. We thought venue might be a little different story than the first time these two met, but not the case early. As another turnover there, Hughes picks Anderson, takes it to the rim. Anderson sends it back at Hughes. Now a pile-up, scrum on the deck. And that'll go to the possession arrow, favoring CSJ. Into the contest comes number 41, Logan White, for VTC. And checking in for CSJ, number 10, Mr. Stephen Edwards. So just what the doctor ordered if you're a Knight fan. 11-4 start here in the first 5 minutes of action. Houston swings it to Anderson. Anderson dumps it in low to Alston. A nice jump hook in the paint. Gets it to go, does Kashin. Willette kind of thought about using Hughes' screen. Whistle in the meantime. They're going to go. That foul's going to go against Houston. His first, team second. And Folsby will pull the trigger for the Knights on the side. Finds Willette on top. Guarded by Anderson. Hesitation dribble. Drops it back to White. White pulls a three ball. Won't go on a nice rebound in traffic by Alston. Gets it to Houston. Houston will push. Finds Emery. They go corner to Edwards. And they'll reset on top with Houston. Crossover dribble. That's a reach and a foul there on number 13, Willette. Zach's first, team second. And Emery will inbound in front of the VTC bench. Needs help. Gets it from Edwards, who goes low to Alston. Pounds it once, twice. Drop step, goes paint. Cleared by White. Willette brings it across. It's a double screen on top. Now dumps it off to Hughes. Hughes, their leading scorer, been quiet here early. Willette, he's going to be called for the charging violation. Went between his legs and then thought about dropping it off in the corner. Did so, but charged on the play did Willette. And he'll get a blow. Coming into the game is number 3, Jack Griffiths. Freshman guard out of Ellesmere Port, England. How about that? England and Australia on the floor for VTC here tonight. Emery holds, finds Alston. They wanted to go inside to Anderson. Ball thrown a little too tall and out of play. VTC brings it back. Griffiths clears the timeline. And the Knights hold a 5-point advantage at the 13:45 mark of the first half. Work the ball to White. Folsby picks up his dribble, wants to go inside to Hughes. They're going to get Emery on the reach. They wanted Hughes that time on the box. Emery with the body or hold, you pick. Nonetheless, Nolan second. And he'll come out of the contest. Checking in for the Saints and Emery is number 23, Josh McAfee, sophomore guard out of Lodi, California. And the Knights go on top to Hughes. Hughes finds Griffiths. Ryan wants a screen, gets it from White. He's leveled off nicely, but finds the screener. A little screen and roll action. And a nice find by Ryan, finding White for the deuce. So VTC looks comfortable against that half-court man-to-man of the Fighting Saints right now. Anderson in the deep corner. They swing the ball. McAfee to Edwards. He'll pull and knock it back. Steven Edwards, we highlighted, been hot of late, averaging 21 over the last 4 contests. Gets a triple to go, trimming the VTC lead, 13-9. Good ball movement, finding Hughes in the corner. Front rims the triple. Saints push to McAfee. Josh will stop, pop, and bury the 3 ball. Back-to-back threes by the Saints. Force the timeout from VTC at the 12:27 mark. 1-point edge for the visitors. We'll take a break.
The small size is one of our strengths. You know, we are allowed as professors to really get to know our students because an average class size is about 8. The biggest I've ever had is 25 students in a class. So we have the luxury of spending a lot more time with each student. This is a great place to go to school.
And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN. Quick timeout by Coach Leasier. A 3 in the half-court set by Edwards, and then a 3 by McAfee in transition. Signaled the timeout for VTC, who holds the 1-point edge as they find man pressure full this time being applied by the Saints. McAfee guarding Griffiths on top. Edwards on Hughes. Hughes leads it to Griffiths. 12 on the shot clock. They go inside to White. White kicks it back out. Gotta go. Griffiths puts it on the deck. Finds Ryan for the... No, I thought he was going to pull. Didn't pull. Should have pulled. Fling at the buzzer. I should say the shot clock buzzer. And it goes down for White on the fling as we described it. Houston with the pull. Well off the mark. Ryan rebounds in traffic, and he'll bring the basketball for VTC. Crossover, gets to the paint. Drop off inside, not handled, but Hughes cleans it up. Jamel Hughes cleans up the mess on the backside. 5-point advantage for VTC at the 11:20 mark of the first half. McAfee to Edwards on top. He'll go to Alston. Kashin stops, pops. Well off the mark with that shot release. As Griffith pushes into the front court. Goes right to the rim, and he'll score. Jack Griffiths, freshman guard out of England. Ellesmere Port, England, to be specific. Kept his dribble, shook free of McAfee, and got right to the 10 for the deuce. Alston finds Edwards. Back to Alston. They kick it this side. Anderson for the 3-ball. Doesn't get it to go, but Houston inside with the offensive rebound wanted. Edwards, they get Alston right down the middle. Whistle and a foul. Official Mark Lambert comes to the table. And he's got number 24, Nick Ryan, on the foul call. As into the game, number 14, Randy Arrington for CSJ. Trailing by 7 as Houston pulls the trigger underneath. Goes out top to Arrington. Hesitation dribble. And he's assessed with the carry. Turned over the dribble there. Did Arrington. Giving the ball back to VTC into the game for his first action of the night. Number 21, Jared Brown. Freshman guard out of Boston. And a good one for CSJ. As McAfee levels off Griffith. Finds Ryan on the wing. Back to Griffith. They go inside to Hughes. Looks like he shuffled the feet, got away with it. Goes glass for the 2. And a 9-point advantage here for VTC. McAfee step back 3. Got it. Josh McAfee bottomed a 3 earlier from the right wing. That time sets up Camp on the left wing and gets it to go. Hughes guarded by Brown. Finds Griffiths in the corner for a 3. And Griffiths answers. So long-range shooting on display by both squads here this evening. McAfee had got one to go, and Griffiths answered. Anderson's 3 off the mark. Ryan rebounds, and he pushes. Now leveled off. Now crosses the timeline. Goes corner to Hughes. Back on top to Griffiths. Just bottom one out of the corner. He'll set. Gets the screen from Hughes. Kicks it over to Ryan. Ryan wanted to go inside to Hughes. Whistle and a foul. See who they'll get on this one. Hughes was doubled on the box. Foul's going to go against number 10, Stephen Edwards. His first, team's 4th. Griffith inbounds. Goes on top to White. Not a backcourt violation, but Logan ran it down, then shuffled the feet. So turnover goes to the Saints. And Brown will pull the trigger in front of the scorer's table. Goes to Anderson, back to Jared. Bodied up by Griffiths, and they'll assess Griffiths with the personal. Brown a handful off the dribble. Showed it right there, his cat-like quickness. And it'll be Saints basketball when we come back. Timeout on the floor. We'll take 1-2. VTC by 9. And welcome back to the campus of St. Joseph College here in Rutland, Vermont. For Saints basketball, brought to you as always on STCN, Stafford Technical Center News. Gang's all here tonight bringing you this broadcast, and as always doing a tremendous job. On the floor, we've seen, as we said, long-range shooting on display from both squads. And VTC looking very comfortable in the first 11 minutes of action, putting 24 points up. Again, a lot of that coming from long distance. Saints on their end of things, 15 points on the board, at least 9 of those points. I don't keep stats here at the table, but I know for a fact they've got three triples that went down, 2 by McAfee and 1 by Edwards, as they run offense in front of us. Brown, 18-footer, back rims it. And White runs it down in front of the VTC bench. Griffiths will bring it across. His team leading by 9, looking to extend that advantage. He's leveled off by McAfee. Loses his dribble now, finds Ryan, hands it back to Griffiths. They go inside to Hughes. One dribble, turn, shoot. Didn't go. Arrington taps it out. Brown runs it down, and he finds McAfee in transition. Bodies flying. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I know what's going on there. A nice dribble drive and a spin finish for Dre Anderson in the painted area. Cuts the lead to 7. VTC swings it right to left, and they go down low to Hughes. Hughes back to White. Gets it on top to Griffiths. 18 on the shot clock. Receives a screen, doesn't use it. Now gives the basketball to White, does Griffiths. They go to Hughes low, and he'll score and draw the foul. And they're going to put the second personal on to Edwards. Hughes got positioned down low. His teammate found him. He scores at the rim, works his way to the line. As Edwards commits his second of the evening. 3-point play finished by Hughes. Coming back into the game is Emery. He'll sub in for Edwards with the 2 personals. 10-point advantage here by the visitors from VTC. Brown brings it across. He'll hand off to Anderson, who finds Emery. They swing right side to McAfee. Good ball movement here. Let's see if the Saints can finish with points. Arrington to McAfee in the corner. 15 on the shot clock. They go to Emery on top. Looking inside. Gets it inside to Anderson. His jump hook a little shy on the front edge. And official Mark Lambert has us going the other way. Personal on CSJ. Number 14, Randy Arrington, assessed with a personal. As VTC crosses the timeline, Griffiths with possession. Goes by McAfee, finds Hughes in the corner. Hughes dribbles out top, swings it to Ryan. Hughes leveled off by Brown. 10 on the shot clock. Griffiths puts it on the deck. Nice drop off inside. Everything but the finish by White. Couldn't get it to go. As McAfee brings it across, he'll stop, pop, and score. Now the officials will have to confer. There was a whistle on a foul call down inside. The 3-ball went for McAfee. That's a good hoop. A good hoop for McAfee, who just drilled his second three in transition, third of the night. That foul goes against number 32, Josh Abwe, who had checked into the game for CSJ, senior center out of Dallas. So they sort things out. The three is good. And going to the line at the other end of the floor is Logan White for VTC. Hits the first of the 1-and-1. Checking back into the game, Folumsby. And he'll give Ryan a breather as White lines up his second. Rattles out. Anderson finds Emery in transition. Nolan puts it on the deck. He'll find McAfee. Been on fire, and he continues to be so. His fourth triple of the evening. Josh McAfee out of Lodi, California, feeling it. Cuts the VTC to 5 at 28-23 with 6:05 left in the first half. White in the corner. Checked by Otway. Drives baseline. Goes to the floor. Looks like that foul will go against Otway. His second, team's 8th of the half. As Houston and Alston come back into the game for CSJ. White steps to the line. He'll shoot a 1-and-1. Pounds it 3 times. Releases. Back rims it. Alston will clear. And Houston looking for McAfee up the right sideline. Throws it a little tall. Out of play. Turnover goes back to VTC. Griffith picked up by Houston. He'll give it off to Folumsby. Griffith finds, was screened on that, finds White in the corner for the mid-range jumper. White gets it to go. 7-point cushion for VTC. Anderson to Alston in the corner. Swinging on top to Brown. Brown to McAfee, back to Emery. Sizes it up, stops, 18-footer, banks it in. Got to call those, Nolan, but nonetheless it went. Much-needed bucket for the Fighting Saints, trimming the VTC lead to 5 at the 5-minute mark of the first half. Griffiths checked by Houston. Finds Hughes, guarded by Anderson. Swinging to Folumsby. Gets a screen, looks back to the screener. Lucky to get that one back. 9 on the shot clock. Folumsby kicks it backside to White. He'll pull. A little strong on his release. Anderson clears, finds Nolan Emery up the left sideline. Emery says, "Don't play me, I'll shoot it." And ridden right out of bounds off the ball is Alston. And that foul's going to go against number 3, Griffiths. Giving up size, but put 2 hands in the back and shoved Alston right out of play. Officials saw it all the way. Second personal on Griffiths. 6th team foul on the Knights. Checking back in Zach Willett, number 13 for VTC, as Houston pulls the trigger underneath his own basket. Anything but smooth on the transition, but nonetheless, it'll look smooth in the scorebook as Alston bottoms the mid-range jumper, trimming the lead to 3 with 4:10 left in the first. Good ball movement by the Saints, getting a little chippy out there right now. I should say by the Knights, being pressured by the Saints. They swing it to Chevalier. Turnover in the paint. Houston finds Alston for the finish at the rim. We got a 1-point contest. Willett doubled on top. Saints come away with a steal. And a nice touch pass. Leaves it for Alston. Does Houston. Shot won't go. The Knights attack quickly the other way, and they find Hughes, who gets it to go. The bucket and one for Jamal Hughes. Dre Anderson assessed with his first personal of the night. Team's 9th. As Hughes lines up his free throw and knocks it back. And coming in for Hughes, number 24, Nick Ryan. And joining him, number 20, Eli Wilder, his first action of the night, junior forward out of Morrisville, Vermont. So VTC with a 4-point cushion. 3:20 left in the half as Houston works it across against Willett. Finds Alston. Swing it backside to Emery. Gets a screen from Anderson. Now he dumps it down inside to Dre. Dre triple teamed in the paint. Rise, fire, glass, good. Triple team to no avail. Houston showing the quick hands inside. Shot blocked, but a whistle and a foul. And they'll get number 12, Chevalier, with the body. So on the previous possession, Anderson, triple team, just rose above the fray and goes glass for the deuce. And then Houston steals the inbounds and gets fouled and works his way to the line for a pair. Gets the first to go. Does Kyle. Junior guard out of Boston, Mass. And Houston ties this one at 33. And tied at 33. Timeout on the floor. We'll take 1-2 with the 3:01 mark. Be back in 30. And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN. 3:01 left in the first half. We're deadlocked at 33 in a physical contest. CSJ's battled back into this one. Down double digits in the half. And as I said, we're knotted at 33. Davis drops it, Ryan, I should say, drops it off to Wilder. He can't finish at the rim. McAfee on the push. Better play him in transition. He finds Emery. His shot a little too strong, but McAfee steps in and steals the exchange off the outlet. Finds Anderson for the bucket at the foul line. Or I should say the foul line jumper. And Saints, possibly their first lead of the night. Maybe they led it 2-0. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, they hold the 2-point edge and the basketball as Houston on the push. Got up in the air, went backside, and Willett stepped in the passing lane nicely, stealing it for VTC. Wilder, yeah, he ran right through McAfee with that shot release. Easy call there for the officials. And into the game, number 34, Carl Benjamin for the Saints, his first action of the night. Returning for VTC, number 41, White. CSJ with a 2-point lead and the basketball at the 2-minute mark of the first. Houston finds Emery. McAfee looking into Alston, couldn't get it to him. Emery goes to the rim. A lot of contact, no call there. Folmsby comes out with the basketball, and he'll bring it across the timeline. Dribbles off his foot, however. Emery in transition. Wide open McAfee, got it. That's easy money tonight. Josh McAfee bottoms his 5th triple of the evening. Gives CSJ the 5-point spread. Quick timeout by the VTC bench. We'll take a break. And we're back. How about Josh McAfee tonight? Three balls like a layup to the sophomore guard out of Lodi. He's a perfect 5 for 5 from long range. And his last one has given the Fighting Saints a 3-point advantage with 1:22 to play in the half. VTC goes on the attack. Quick hands by Houston, however, gets into passing lanes. Gets another possession for the Fighting Saints. Good ball movement. They go to Benjamin in the corner. A little too strong on his free pull. Hughes will walk it across for the Knights as we're under a minute left in the first. Little crossover and spin move by Hughes. Lucky to retain possession. Finds White for the deep three on top. Won't go. Alston, however, could just get a hand on it. Ball run down by Chevalier. Back to Folmsby on top, guarded by Emery. Hughes on the right wing. It's a screen from White, leveled off by Benjamin. They go baseline, and that's a nice look. Wilder to White for the finish. And the shot clock's turned off. Last possession of the half as Houston walks it across. Ten seconds left on the game clock. Got to get busy. Alston comes out for the high screen for Houston. They kick backside to Benjamin. Not a clean catch by Carl on the backside. He's called for the double dribble with 2.2 left in the half. CSJ with a 3-point edge. Hughes pulls it from midcourt. Won't go, and first half's in the books, and a good one it was. Fighting Saints hold the 3-point edge at intermission. VTC came in here, looked very comfortable early in this half. Halfway through the first half, still holding, at times, a double-digit lead were the Knights, but the home squad Fighting Saints fought back. Got some threes to go, many threes to go, highlighted by McAfee's 5. And as halftime is upon us, CSJ goes into the locker room with the 3-point advantage. Both team coaches with plenty to talk about at half. And as the teams do that, and there's a break on the floor, we'll take an extended break too. CSJ up 3. We'll be back in a few. And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN, where the Fighting Saints of CSJ hold a 3-point edge at the half. Looking over some of our statistics from the first 20 minutes of action. For VTC, Jamal Hughes leads them in scoring with 10. Teammate Logan White added 9. And both of those players, inside players, so doing some damage in the paint, as VTC has 22 points at the half scored from the painted area. So Hughes and White, 10 points and 9 respectively, lead the Knights. On St. Joe's side of things, of course, Josh McAfee, we talked about it just before the break. 15 points on 5 of 5 shooting from behind the arc for McAfee. Kasheen Alston and Dre Anderson both adding 8 points of their own for the Fighting Saints. 6 for 11 from behind the arc is CSJ. Of course, 5 of those coming off the shot release of McAfee, who just looks comfortable from long distance tonight. I've seen him on other nights get that look in his eye as well. I'm not sure I ever saw him go 5 for 5 in one half of play, but that's the case for the sophomore from Lodi, California. And he's done it from all over. Not a favorite spot, from the top, from the wing, in transition, or off the half-court set. So McAfee on fire here in this first half of play. No player really in foul trouble, not in foul trouble at all. Anderson with 2, Emery with 2, Edwards with 2, and Awe with 2 for the Fighting Saints. Jack Griffiths, the only player with 2 personals on the VTC side of things. So an even half on the scoreboard, and an even half statistically speaking, really. Rebounds, just one rebound separates the teams. Turnovers, VTC has turned it over 2 more times than the Saints have. So as I said, even on the paper in front of me and even basically on the court through the first 20 minutes of play. So we'll see what this second half brings. VTC did hold a 10-point lead in that first half. Held that lead to the 7:27 mark in the first. And, of course, the Fighting Saints cut into that to hold this 3-point advantage as we get things going in the second half. On the floor for VTC, Hughes, Ryan, Chevalier, Griffiths, and Willette. And for the Saints, Houston, Threewitz, Anderson, Emery, and Alston. Willette controls on top. Puts it on the floor, gets it to Griffiths in the corner. Good ball movement by VTC. Hughes goes airborne, and he'll be fouled by Houston and work his way to the line. Gets the first to go. Junior guard from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Knights' leading scorer coming into play tonight, averaging just under 20 per. And he gets a pair to start the second half for VTC. Anderson holds. And gets Threewitz, who drives baseline, spins, releases, shot won't go, cleared by Chevalier. Folmsby, picked by Houston, gets it back. And we're going the other way. We get a Chevalier assessed with the personal. As we said, first half got physical. Borderline chippy, so the 3 officials going to stay on top of it here in the second half. Possibly call it close early. As Emery gets it into Threewitz. And Travis brings it across the timeline. It's it to Alston. Back to Anderson. They swing it to Houston. Skips across court. Threewitz runs it down. Gets into the painted area. Goes to Alston backside. His jumper off the mark. But out of play off VTC. Be surprised if the ball gets into Dre Anderson's hands, and sometimes they'll even post Dre down low just to get him going, get some touches off the box. Dre can score inside or out. Has the ball right now, gets a screen from Emery. Alston to Emery, baseline jumper, won't go. But nicely done on the putback by Threewitz. Got up big for the deuce. Folmsby to Ryan. Ryan leveled off nicely by Alston. Chevalier pressured by Houston. Now Folmsby gets the screen from Hughes. Looking inside for Hughes. No angle there, but a whistle and a foul. Houston's going to kind of bail him out there with the push. Not a good angle to enter that basketball as they tried to get it down low to Hughes. But the foul assessed to Houston. His third, team second, and Edwards checks in for Houston. And the Fighting Saints. Folmsby finds Griffith cross court in the corner, who dribbles out to the top. Griffith's guarded by Threewitz. Nicely done. They enter to Houston inside. Anderson came over, tied him up on his shot release. Possession arrow favoring the Saints. Threewitz brings it across. Saints go to Alston. Emery held on his cut. I think official Lambert will get Ryan. Yes, he does. Number 24 holding Emery on the cut. Ryan's second. Team second. Emery will pull the trigger on the side for St. Joe's. Now a whistle, and we're going the other way. I'm going to get a legal screen on Edwards. His third. Team's third. Quickly off the bench is McAfee. Won't get in on this. Won't get in at this point, I should say, but soon to come in, it appears, will the sophomore from California, who had the hot hand in the first half. Griffith takes the handoff and knocks back a triple. And we're tied at 40 with 17:07 left in the contest. Edwards on top, guarded by Chevalier. Willette. Check that. Number 13 is Willette. Threewitz finds Anderson on the roll in the paint. Won't go. Dre keeps it alive. They swing it back to Edwards for the deep pull. Back rims the triple attempt, does Edwards. Griffith controls on top for the Knights. They get it to Hughes off the elbow. A little up fake, puts it on the deck. Anderson having none of it. But Hughes staying with it. Scrum inside. Now we're on the deck in the backside corner. Officials will sort it out. Haven't seen a call yet. And I guess just possession to CSJ, as Josh McAfee does check into the contest for Edwards. So officials sorted it out in the backside corner, and Emery clears the timeline. Tied at 40. Just underway in the second half. Threewitz, little hesitation dribble, gets the shot to go, but the second basket negated this game by stepping on the end line. Emery had one in the first half. That time the end line bites Threewitz and robs him of a deuce. Travis with the quick hands deflects it out of play. VTC will retain possession as Griffiths pulls the trigger on the side. Finds Willette, who walks it across. And an illegal screen we're going to get. Number 12 assessed, Chevalier, VTC. VTC bench erupts in front of us here. As we said, a physical contest bordering on chippy. The officials got everything calmed down here for the moment. Is that pass deflected out of bounds? CSJ retains possession. McAfee will trigger from the side. Tied at 40, 15:54 left in this one. It's been a good one. As the Saints go on the attack. Anderson swings it down low to Emery. Step back jumper. Can't get it to go. Willette in transition. Leveled off by McAfee. Whistle and a foul. Not much there, but as we said, they're going to call this tight. Like McAfee got back and applied good defensive pressure there, but whistled for the foul. His first, team's fourth. And Willette will shoot a pair. Gets his first to rim out. And into this game, number 21, Jared Brown for the Fighting Saints. Willette bottoms his second attempt. Gives the visitors from VTC the 1-point advantage. Brown works it on top. Finds Anderson. Back to Brown. McAfee on the base. Looks inside, gets it to Dre. Spins into the paint, just what we talked about. Dumps in that little turn to left shoulder. Right-handed jump hook, if you will, in the paint. Dre, an assassin from deep, but a handful down low as well. Scores right there, giving the lead back to the Saints. Hughes on top. He'll pull the 16-footer and knock it back. Little up fade. Anderson didn't bite, so Hughes pulls the trigger. Anderson looking to return to favor. Front rim's a 3 release. And Willette on the push. Leveled off by Brown. And they'll get Brown with the body. Jared's first, team's 5th of the half. And they inbound to Ryan. Ryan gets a Hughes screen. Now hands off to Griffiths. Griffiths to Willette. Back to Ryan in the corner. Leveled off nicely by Emery. Hughes, little up fake, takes it to the rack. Bumped on his release. Shot didn't go, but he'll shoot a pair. So they get Emery for the personal. Emery's third, team's 6th already. Hughes true on his first. Otway back into the fray for CSJ. Giving Emery a blow. Front rim by Hughes on his second release. Brown clears the timeline. Basketball in a 2-point lead. He takes it right to the rim. And they'll get Griffith for the push on Brown's release. Jared steps to the line. He'll shoot a pair. Gets his first to go. Does the freshman guard from Boston. So if you're on the floor right now, you can put it on the deck and draw the least little bit of contact as Brown gets a second to go. Chances are you might find yourself to the line because they're going to call this one tight. Brown gets a pair to go. We're tied at 44. Break on the floor. We'll take 1, 2. And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN. Deadlocked at 44. 14:21 left in the second half. In a physical contest, CSJ already assessed with 6 personals this half. The next foul on CSJ, and VTC goes to the line. The rest of the contest for 1-and-1s. The Knights of VTC have been whistled for 4 personals as we speak. And the officials going to keep an eye on things. And as we said before the timeout, there's a sniff of contact. Looks like they're going to blow the whistle. So smart offensive player will remind himself of that, put that in his back pocket, maybe work his way to the line. Nonetheless, VTC attacks, and that's Willette. Gets into the paint, drops it back to White for the bucket. White showing the touch. Good shooter, the big fella, from 18 feet in. Gets one to go right there, giving VTC the 2-point advantage. Otway hands off to McAfee. They go down low to Alston. And right there, what we're talking about, reaching a foul, not a lot going on there, but they're going to get White on the reach there. check that. Foul goes on Ryan. His third, team's fifth. Brown finds McAfee off the inbounds. Nice dribble drive, kicks it backside to Anderson. You can't give him that much time. He'll knock it down all day and does so right there. The senior guard from Fort Worth. CSJ back in front. About the third or fourth lead change of the half. As Ryan probes with the dribble, gets it to White. Nice back cut by Hughes, who lays it in at the 10. And the lead goes back to VTC. So a nice backdoor cut by Hughes, who finishes at the rim. Brown, little shake bake. Oh, shooter's roll didn't go. Put back by Austin didn't go. And VTC clears. Willett in a hurry. Crossover dribble. Stops. 12-footer. Shot at 11. But Hughes on the putback. Hughes, you can see why he leads them in scoring. He had a quiet 10 in the first half, and he's off to a big start in the first 7 minutes of this second half. Gets the shot to go there as Otway lines up a nice jumper on balance and on time. Josh Otway knocks it back, trimming the VTC lead to 1. Hughes says, why not? Bottoms a 3-ball. Does Jamal. Big second half here for Hughes, showing his whole arsenal. Scoring inside effectively that time, steps behind the arc and knocks one back. 4-point advantage for the Knights. McAfee pressure out top. Gets it across to Brown. They're going to get Brown on pushing off with the inside hand. Team 7th. Brown 2nd. And VTC wants to talk it over. They take the timeout with a 4-point advantage. 11:54 left. We'll be back. And welcome back to STCN. VTC took that timeout. It's their basketball and a 4-point advantage. So I'm sure Coach Leasier drawing something up here on this possession. But Jamal Hughes showing his arsenal early here in the second half, scoring inside in its last foray from long range, bottoming the 3. And on the ensuing possession, Brown assessed for the push-off on his dribble drive to the paint, giving the ball back to the Knights, as we said, with a 4-point advantage. Into the game for this Fighting States, number 4, Brian Sinclair, seeing his first action of the contest. And he'll check Willett on top. Willett finds Ryan. 3-ball from the corner won't go. McAfee will clear. Finds Anderson in transition. It's a screen from Otway. Spin in the lane. Won't go. Dre active on the glass. Tips it to Otway. Up fake and puts it back. Does Josh. Used his fake effectively. Up fake, power dribble, and score for Otway. And on the inbounds, they'll get number 4, Sinclair, on the hold. His first, team's 8th. So, as we talked about, rest of the half, VTC will parade to the line in the bonus. And Willett, the beneficiary of that bonus situation, eyes the first of his 1-and-1. Gets it to go. Does the freshman guard out of Vergennes, Vermont. Just up the road a bit. And gets a pair. Does Willett. So Sinclair with the basketball. Leaves it for Otway. Awe takes it right down the middle, and he's fouled at the tin. And he'll work his way to the line for two. So Josh Awe doing work. Bottom a nice 18-foot jumper earlier. Scored on a power move inside. Now gets his way to the line. Eyes the first. And knocks it back. Does the senior center from Dallas, Texas. Gets them both to go, trimming the VTC lead to 2 at 55-53 with 11 minutes left in the second half of play. Willett fiddle diddles with his dribble, didn't go too far, but finds White, who swings it backside to Ryan. Ryan on the top, finds Griffiths. Swing it to White on the base. Gets the 16-foot baseline J to go. And it's a 4-point advantage for the Knights. Alston gets to the paint and banks it home. Second one of the night. I said you got to call those. Emory hit one from deeper in the first half. Maybe Kashin was going glass, but nonetheless, it counts. Gets it to go, and no defense there. Ryan, just a straight line drive. Gets the deuce at the rim. Awe trying to answer. VTC clears. Willett with the basketball and the 4-point lead. They find Ryan, swings it to Griffiths, looking inside to Hughes. A lot of contact down low. And they'll get Sinclair battling Hughes on the box. His second, team's 9th. And Hughes, who's been money from the line all night, finds his way to the charity stripe for a 1-and-1. Put the whammy on him. Rims out. Sinclair on the push. Trailing by 4. Inside of 10 minutes to play. Otway looking inside to Alston. Doesn't have a good path to get it there. Finds Sinclair on the cut. Dipsy-do in traffic. Won't go. Ball skittered around. That's Nation into the contest. His step back won't go. And Willett will clear for the Knights. So number 5, Brian Nation, into the game for CSJ. Couldn't get his first shot release of the evening to go. Now he pressures Willett. Willett going to be called 4 steps. Shuffled the puppies once he got into the paint. Good defensive pressure by Nation that time. Sinclair finds Anderson, who brings it across. So Alston, Awe, Sinclair, Nation, and Anderson, who controls on top. Alston, rise, fire, front rims it. And White comes off with that rebound. They get it quickly to Willett. Willett finds Ryan, who dribble drives baseline and scores. And gives VT a 6-point cushion. Nation. A lot of dribbling. Now finds Awe. Gets it back to Nation. Quick hands of Willett in the corner. Knocks it out of play. Subs coming into the game. Number 14, Arrington, and number 11, Threewitz for the Fighting Saints. They trail by 6 as they inbound underneath their own. Find Anderson, hesitation dribble, gets to the paint, pivots, kicks it out top. Sinclair with a shot release, won't go. And Ryan clears the timeline for VTC. Leading by 6, looking for more. They go down inside to White. White, power dribble, jump hook, gets it to go. The junior forward from South Royalton gives the visitors from VTC an 8-point advantage with that nice move in the painted area. As Anderson leveled off, loses control, gets it back. Misses the 14-footer, but gets his own. Cleans up the mess, does Dre. Timeout on the floor taken by CSJ. We'll take one, too. VTC leads it by 6. Okay. And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN, Stafford Technical Center News. Physical contest we've got going and a back-and-forth contest as well. But right now, VTC in control, leading by 6. As both clubs talk it over. 7:41 left in the contest. Long ways to go. With the next VTC foul, Saints will also be in the bonus situation. The Knights have been there for quite some time, shooting 1-and-1s the last 4 or 5 minutes. So Charity Stripe will play a big role down the stretch here, I'm sure. As Ryan inbounds for VTC, gets it to Willette, who's pressured by Houston, back in the contest for the Fighting Saints. They swing it to Hughes, back to Willette. Trapped in the corner is Willette. Finds White, kicks it inside to Hughes for the bucket. A nice find by White and a better finish by Hughes. And VTC goes up 8. And the Saints have been stymied at the offensive end of things the last 2 or 3 minutes. Anderson, one dribble, rise, fire, rim out. And Griffith rebounds and clears to Willette. Hughes on top, guarded by Anderson. Leaves it for Hill. Check that White. White hands off to Ryan. Blitzed is Ryan. Gives it up, gets it right back. They swing it to Griffiths on the right wing. Dribbles to the top, pressured by Three-Wits. And they'll get Travis with the body on top. Looked like Three-Wits had leveled him off nicely, not the case. As Griffiths will work his way to the line for not the 1-and-1 anymore. That's the 10th team foul on the Saints. So it's 2 the rest of the way for the Knights. Up and good on his first attempt. As Josh McAfee enters the fray, he'll come in for Three-Wits. Griffith lines up his second and gets it to go, giving VTC a 10-point advantage at the 6:30 mark of the second half. The Saints got to get busy, not only on the defensive end, but they need some points as well. As McAfee enters down low to Alston, whistle and a foul. That'll go against Ryan over the back, and Alston works his way to the line for a 1-and-1. And checking in for Ryan, number 12, Chevalier. As the big man from Australia gets a blow. Alston, high arcing release, gets it to go. And now he'll have the bonus. Back rims his second. Deflected out of play. It'll be VTC's basketball. With 6:23 left in this one. Well, let's see if the Saints defense can come up with some stops, if not some turnovers here. As Houston pressuring in the backcourt. Willette gets into the painted area. First attempt won't go, but Hughes there to clean it up. And the biggest lead of the night, An 11-point spread for VTC. Inside of 6 to play. Houston leaves it for Arrington. Arrington gets it to Anderson. Back to Arrington. Puts it on the deck. Gets to the paint. Nice drop off for Alston. His shot too strong. And VTC clears the zone. Willett guarded by McAfee. Picks up his dribble. Finds White. Kicks it backside to Hughes. Hughes gets it back to White. Showing a nice touch. Not that time. Houston will push. Takes it right down Broadway. Left-hand scoop. He'll get it to go. The junior guard from Boston. So a transition bucket there. Let's see if that starts a run for the Fighting Saints as Edwards, number 10, checks back into the contest. And CSJ will pick up full. 5 count right there. You knew it. And so did the official, more importantly. Chevalier looking to trigger in, had nowhere to go. Turnover, and Saints will put it on underneath their own. Houston pulls the trigger. He'll lob to Anderson. One dribble spin move. That's easy money for Dre. So a quick 4 points gets the Saints back into this one, trailing by 7, as Hughes brings it down the floor against Anderson. Willett looks things over, guarded by Houston. They go inside to White. Knocked away, loose ball. White runs it down, but tipped away by Anderson. Edwards stop, pop, back rims the 3. Had a layup if he wanted it. Went for the triple instead. Finds Alston on the baseline. And we're going to get number 3, Griffiths, who puts McAfee to the deck with a shove down inside the painted area. Josh trying to clear his head. Steps to the line for a 1-and-1. His first free throw attempt of the night. And is good on the first. Gets a pair, does McAfee. Trimming that 11-point lead in half, if you will, to 5. And a timeout by the VTC bench. We'll take one, too. 4:38 left. VTC by 5. That's all right. That's all right. And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN. As the Fighting Saints chip away at that 11-point advantage, largest lead of the night. VTC had accumulated, but a pair of free throws by McAfee, an inbounds play to Anderson. Alston with the free throw, and another bucket, I believe, by Anderson. Nonetheless, Saints have cut in to that 11-point deficit. VTC will inbound with a 5-point cushion at the 4:38 mark. And they get it to Willett. Willett pressured by Houston. Let's play the good defense. Don't reach. Keep them off the free throw line. And they're going to get Houston with the body. Sending Griffith to the line for a pair. So just got the words out of my mouth. Just D up without fouling. So those are free points at the charity stripe. And Griffith lines up a pair. Not quite as free as we talked about. Front rim's the first one. Gets the second to go. 70-64 VTC. Houston brings it across. Goes to Alston. Alston to Edwards. They swing it back to Alston, and Houston will reset on top. McAfee for a deep three. Shot won't go. Ball tipped out. Chevalier controls, gets it to Willett. Willett pressured by Houston. Picks up his dribble. Finds White. Edwards went for the strip, left his man wide open, and Chevalier knocks it back. A big three off the wing. Edwards went for the steal, came up empty. His man a wide open look, and he knew what to do with it. Bottoms the triple. VTC up 9. Deep ball by McAfee, knocked to the deck after the shot release. No call. And Willett walks it across. 3:20 left in this one. VTC with a 9-point advantage. Griffith puts it on the deck. Runs out of real estate, goes backside corner to Chevalier, who swings it on top to Willett. 12 left on the shot clock. Puts it on the deck, does Willett. Won't go, but Hughes there tries to clean it up. Anderson with the rebound, stripped by Willett, and Hughes finishes. So good perseverance by the Knights. As quickly to the other end, Edwards pulls, and that long-range release off the mark. VTC breaks the timeline. Up 9, in control of this one, but Griffiths just lowers the shoulder and runs over Houston. No doubt about that one. Easy call for the officials, and they made it. As number 22, Folumsby, comes back into this one for VTC. So we take care of some moisture on the deck. Really, VTC doesn't need to be in a rush right now. Up 9 with the basketball. Griffiths put it on the deck, assessed the charging foul, and really helping out the Saints in doing so. It's like a little pressure here by VTC. First of the night we've seen full court, and now they run out of it. Houston brings it across at the 2:30 mark. His team down 9. Anderson, 3-ball, got it. And a quick timeout by the CSJ bench, just what the doctor ordered. A triple by Dre Anderson. Timeout on the floor, and we'll take one. And welcome back to Saints basketball here on STCN. Dre Anderson, bottom to 3-ball, as I said, just what the doctor ordered, cutting the lead to 8 as VTC looks to clear the time zone. Timeline, I should say, time zone. I guess we're not going to do that. And they find Hughes on top. They swing it to Ryan. They're going to take a little clock this time, and intelligently so, although Ryan puts it on the deck there. Can't get his shot to go, but a fresh shot clock the Knights will have. As Hughes puts the hesitation dribble down, tries to get to the backside. That won't go. McAfee rebounds, gets it to Anderson quickly. They go to Alston, kick it backside to Houston. He'll shake and go down the middle, partially deflected on a shot release. And a 3-on-1 break. VTC coming this way. McAfee with good hustle. Saved a sure layup, tried to save the basketball, couldn't get it back into play. Nonetheless, saved a sure deuce, did Josh, with the hustle play. Timeout on the floor. CSJ will take that one. We'll take one too. Be right back with you in 30. And welcome back. Let's set the table here for the last minute, 34 seconds of this one. VTC holds a 8-point cushion, and it's their basketball. They'll be inbounding off the end line. Now, if you're, if you're St. Joseph's, obviously you're going to come with pressure, try and develop a good trap situation. But if they clear the timeline, probably have to start going to the foul game. Cannot afford the luxury of just playing defense for 35 seconds here. As Willett inbounds. Almost a 5 count there. They go to Hughes on top. Saints will play defense. VTC could run this under a minute left on the clock if they choose to do so. They run the weave out on top. and are content to do so. Shot clock at 15. Well, that goes down Broadway. He'll be assessed for the travel. So no points on that possession by the Knights, but trim some valuable seconds off the clock. Game clock down to 1:12. And looks to be token pressure here by VTC, and it is. Houston pushes, finds McAfee. McAfee to Alston. They go backside to Houston for the three. That shot won't go. And a rebound in traffic by Ryan. Stolen by Edwards. Pulls the trigger on the three. Rushed it a bit. And Folumsby comes away with the rebound, and he's immediately fouled. And he'll make his way down to the free throw line, shooting a pair. So VTC in control of this one. Leading by 8 with a chance to get more from the stripe. Folumsby toes the line. He'll line up his first. Gets it to go. It is a senior guard from Sharon, Vermont. Second one rims out. Otway clears quickly to Houston. Houston pulls up from three. That shot won't go. And a nice rebound in traffic by Ryan, who's immediately fouled. And we parade back to this end for free throws. That personal goes on Houston, his fifth of the contest. So the Knights over for Kyle. And the Knight apparently over here for the Fighting Saints. 41 seconds left in the contest. VTC with a 9-point edge. Sophomore guard Nick Ryan from Australia toes the line. Front rims the first. And misses both. But we have a lane violation, I should say, on CSJ. So Ryan will shoot his third. Third time's the charm for Ryan. Srewitz quickly into the offensive end. Finds Edwards for a 30-footer. Gets that one to go, does Steven. And a quick timeout by the CSJ bench, trailing by 7. 33 seconds left. We'll take a break. And welcome back. Saints trail by 7. VTC will inbound off their end line. And you got to think CSJ's got to play the foul game now. Deny the inbounds, maybe an initial trap, but then got to put VTC on the line. Don't have the luxury of letting that clock tick with 33 seconds left, down 7. Ryan inbounds. He runs the baseline. Gets it into the corner. Not where you want to throw that one. Whistle and a timeout. So Hughes trapped in the corner. Takes the timeout. I'll keep it here. And we'll keep it right here for this 30-second timeout. But inbounds into the corner that time. Hughes had the presence of mind to burn the timeout because he was trapped four ways, end line, sideline, and two Fighting Saints defenders. So he burned the timeout. We sit here with 30 seconds left. Saints trailing by 7. And we'll expect more of the same on this possession. Deny the inbounds. And if you can put a good trap on the receiver of the basketball, do so. Otherwise, you're going to foul immediately. And hopes VTC doesn't convert their free throw opportunities. They've certainly had a ton of them tonight and have shot well overall from the stripe. They were in the bonus early in this second half and the double bonus soon thereafter. But nonetheless, Saints are out of options. Trap, don't come up with the basketball, foul, and hope for some help from the visitors from VTC. Ryan will pull the trigger on the side. He'll go deep to Hughes, wide open. And Jamel lays it in softly, and that'll do it. The rest is just window dressing here. 25 seconds left. 3 Wits, a deep pull, and actually he'll be fouled on the 3-ball attempt. The last thing you want to do if you're on the VTC side of things. That's a 30-foot prayer going up. And 3 Wits works his way to the line where he'll shoot 3. Hey, you never know. First things first. Can 3 Wits bottom all 3? First one up and down. It's the second as well. This game played with your heart and your feet, but also your head. Have to be smart in situations. No situation and time and score. Don't want to foul there if you're the Knights, but they did so. 3 Wits rattles that second one, or third one, I should say, out. And VTC clears the zone. Get it up front to Ouellette, who's fouled by 3 Wits with 14.7 seconds left in this one. So a glimmer of hope there. 3 Wits working his way to the line for 3. Got 2 of the 3 to go, but VTC secured the basketball, cleared the zone, and Ouellette shoots a pair. First one up and down for the freshman out of Vergennes. Second one good as well. 3 Wits hustles it across the timeline. Edwards the deep pull. An air ball out of play. And with a second and a half left, they'll touch it up in play. And that'll do it. Here in Rutland, Vermont. 81-72 victory for the visitors from VTC, who showed resilience here tonight. Came out early, set the tone, held a 10-point advantage with about 7 left in the first half. St. Joe's battled back, took the lead at half, and it appeared that they were going to take control of this one, but the visitors from up north, having none of it, reclaimed possession of this contest, and they'll make the short trip north with a win in the books, coming away with the 81-72 victory over the Fighting Saints. So the two teams split the series. CSJ 3-point victors on the 20th of November, and VTC returns the favor here tonight. So in the double dip action, CSJ girls come away with the win in the first one at 80-57. And the VTC men split the twin bill with the 81-72 verdict in the nightcap. We'd like to thank, as always, the fine people from Stafford Technical Center News for bringing you this broadcast. A professional production, as it always is and was again here tonight. So don't forget, tomorrow night, Saints right back in action when they'll play a double dip against Albany College of Pharmacy. The women will tip at 6 and the men's at 8. So we'll be right back here for the call tomorrow night here in Rutland, Vermont. That'll do it. Saints split a pair. Women's put one in the W column. The men's come away with the defeat.